Okay, so the last piece that I'm going to play on the program is kind of feel like is the reason why we're here, because I just had to learn this piece for years. I've avoided it, and I finally got to it. So if you know the story of Chopin, if you don't know the story of Chopin, I'll tell you, he has one of the more tragic lives in the composer history. For more reasons than one, but one of them that I think this song is about, which is speculation because Chopin doesn't tell us what the songs are about, is the tragic story of Poland in this time period in the early 1800s to the mid 1800s. In 1831, you could even look up on YouTube the November uprising of 1831. That's when Chopin's in Poland and flees to France without his family and friends and without knowing what's going to happen to anybody. And that's left obviously a mark on him. And he wrote about patriotic Poland and war and all kinds of themes like that, military polonaise and that revolutionary etude. And but this one, historians will argue what it's about, so I am speculating. Chopin doesn't tell us. But there's a Polish musicologist, Gregory Nemzek, who does a deep dive into this piece, and I can't take you measure by measure and say, listen for this, I wish I could, but then it'll turn into a really big lecture. But there's, in this piece, he would describe that there's attacks and battles and cannon fire and destruction and aftermath, but hope and uprising of Poland. And there's two marches. The first march is the soldiers going into war with trepidation, and the second time with bravado and vigor. And there's two themes that, and this is debated, that Chopin put into the introduction of this, that with the very first few notes, Polish people at that time would have had to have said, that song's about us. Bum, bum, ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum. Soldiers would sing on their way to battle in those days for morale. And the first two notes of this piece are bum, bum, ba-dum. He kind of goes in a different direction. Okay, and in the middle of that whole thing, he has a dream or a prayer, I'm not sure which, but he shakes us out of that with an attack. And I think this piece was important to Chopin. I think I can point to two things that, one, I know because I'm reading his words. In a letter to his friend Julian Fontana in October of 1841, the year this was composed, he wrote these words, which I think almost immortalize the piece. Today I completed the fantasy, and the sky is so beautiful. My heart is sad, but that doesn't matter. If it were otherwise, my existence wouldn't be of use to anyone. I still get chills when I read that. It's just, what a thing to write. So, and the last thing I want to say, and this is really speculation now, I actually got this from this Gregory Nemzek. He suggested that Chopin, did he sign this piece? Because the first two notes of the piece are, which is F, C, Frederick Chopin. Just, composers would do that in that day. So someone says, but Chopin wouldn't tell us if he did that. He would leave it to you to think about it. But I thought that was an interesting fact. Anyways, this is Chopin's Fantasy, Opus 49.